Hey friends, on today's video we are going to be making some new t-shirt templates and I'm going to be telling you about my experience with COVID. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, so what we are doing is weeding out the design for this for the t-shirts that we're going to be making. My husband is also helping me to weed, but let's get into me having COVID while we go over what I'm doing in this video. So your girl had COVID, didn't know it at first. The symptoms were very mild. It wasn't anything too overly bad. It started off with me feeling like I had a stomach bug and using the bathroom a lot, and then right after that cleared up, I got a stuffy nose, nasal congestion, and it felt like my nose was on fire all the time. Like there was this burning sensation in my nose. That's me being silly while working. But yeah, it felt like a burning sensation in my nose. This is my husband helping me to weed out these templates. But back to the story. So my eyes were burning. It felt like, you ever been at a cookout and you walk into the smoke and like your eyes get that burning sensation? My eyes constantly felt like that. Then my congestion got really, really bad, and I could not smell and I could not taste. Hold on, pause the story. So in this picture right now, what you're seeing is me trying to decide if we should keep the Hustler edition on the shirt or if we should do it with just Hustling Saves Lives. So that's what this whole little video right here is about, me trying to decide. And I eventually decided just put it up there, so I had to go back and redo all the templates that we had made. Back to the story. So yeah, my nose was on fire, chest was on fire, and my eyes constantly burned, and then I couldn't smell and I couldn't taste anything. And at first I thought I was tripping. I was like, okay, maybe it's just all in my head. So I would like go around the house trying to sniff stuff to see if I could smell it. Could not smell it at all. That lasted for about 2 weeks where I could not smell and could not taste anything. Then going on to the second week, my taste started to come back, but it would come and go. Then I could smell, but it smelled like things were far away, even though they were close up. So that was crazy. Then after that, I got this cough, and that's what scared me, because I was so worried that it was going to turn for the worse, because I have diabetes and I'm also asthmatic. And I got nervous when the cough came, because I'm like, I don't want this to turn into something else. So, by this point, I ended up going back to the doctor, because at first we were just doing at-home remedies, but when the cough came, it felt like my chest was on fire, so I definitely wanted to make sure it hadn't turned into pneumonia or anything. And when I went to the doctor that time, I tested negative for COVID, but I had an upper respiratory infection, which they were telling me probably came from having COVID. So it took about another week for the upper respiratory infection to go away. But that was all that had happened. The worst part about it was not being able to smell or taste. And it has come back. This happened a couple of weeks ago, but it did come back, and I can smell and taste. I still have a little bit of a cough, but I also went back to the doctor recently to get another COVID testing, and that also came back negative, so I don't have COVID. But I will say, I think my anxiety scared me more because I was anticipating for it to be worse than what it was, and it really wasn't. So I'll continue with the story, but let me tell you what I'm doing in this video clip. So in this video clip, what I am doing is I am hot gluing the template that I've made into to make it look like a t-shirt. And before, what I was doing was I would just fold it while I'm taking the pictures, and it took so much time to do that I was like, let me just hot glue it in place so it won't move as I'm taking the pictures, and then it'll look like a t-shirt. But you'll see it as this clip goes on how it's supposed to look. Back to the story. So my experience with COVID, it really wasn't that bad. The worst part about it was not being able to smell or taste, and not. So yeah, that was the worst part of it for me, because it was awkward, because I would smell stuff and I couldn't smell it. Then when it did come back, when I was able to smell and taste things, it just felt like it was far away, like it was very faint. That scared me a lot. I'm just thankful that it wasn't as bad as some people have experienced. I'm not vaccinated, so I honestly thought it was going to be worse than what it was. I do think that what helped me is that I take vitamin C, because I am anemic. So I take iron pills, and I have to take vitamin C pills in order for the iron to absorb the way it's supposed to. So I think the vitamin C did help boost my immune system, because I was so scared to catch COVID because I have asthma and I'm also a diabetic. And so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, which is awesome. I'm just happy that I haven't had any worse experiences compared to other people, thank God. But yeah, that was my whole experience with COVID. Like, as soon as I realized I had it, I made sure I quarantined. Like, I stayed in my room. My husband and my daughter, they didn't come in the room. If I had to go out of the room, I put a mask on. And we sprayed Lysol all throughout the house. No one else caught it in the house. They didn't even have any symptoms that made us think, like, you may have it too. So it's weird how it kind of skips over people, or it doesn't affect other people. And then to me, it's also weird how when it does affect people, some people have it bad and some people have it worse. I am, however, considering getting vaccinated, just because I know that I've heard people say that just because you've had it one time doesn't mean that you can't get it again. And I don't want to experience anything worse than what I experienced this go around. So I do think I'm going to get vaccinated in the future. But yep, that was my experience. It lasted for 3 weeks. I made it. I survived it. I still have a little cough in the morning, but I know that I'm testing negative for COVID, so I'm not too worried about it. So how did I run my business while having COVID? I didn't. In my head, I was thinking, okay, what I'll do is hire a nail tech to come in, and she can replicate the press-on nails for me when I get orders, if there's something that needed to be made custom. And then all of the other items are just basically already ready to go. They just have to be put in a shipping label, shipping package, and labeled and sent to the post office, and my husband can do that. But that didn't work out the way I planned. Hold on, let me pause in the story. So what you're seeing now is the templates that I made for the t-shirts. I'm actually taking pictures of those for the website. So that's what you're seeing now, is me getting those ready. And it looks like it's an actual t-shirt that's folded up, but it's really not. But yeah, so back to the story. So, I was just so exhausted. It did make me tired. COVID had me, like, I slept like a baby for days, but I was just so tired. It was just so easy to refund people their money and explain to them the situation, than to go through the process of looking for someone who could help. So that's how I ran my business. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't post to social media. I just basically slept and kept to myself. That was all I could do, and Netflix and chill. But it was pretty slow in the stores. This past month has been pretty slow, so it didn't really hurt me as far as having to refund people, because it was slow. We didn't get a lot of orders, and I wasn't trying to push more orders to come through or anything like that. But yeah, so this is my story on having COVID, and thanks for watching. See you next time.